Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for 1 Million Cups. I'm your host, Trezzy. We're going to go through, do some quick introductions in the room, and then we'll move on to our presentation. But first, a quick reminder, if you don't already have it, grab the 1 Million Cups app on your phone, go check in, let us know that you're here. Quick thanks to our sponsors, Dream Bank for the space, and Starting Block for their continued support. Speaking of Starting Block, pass it on over to Mark. He's got something.
Two announcements. Hey everybody, I'm Mark, and I'm the community manager at Starting Block, and I'm here with sort of two separate hats. The first one is for Starting Block, so I mentioned, a lot of the regulars will know this, but we're rerunning our SNAP internship program. So on April 2nd, we're going to do an internship matching day between students from all the local universities and startups, and you can sign up. We do the curated matches, and it's a great way to have connections to the universities without having to go through the process of figuring out who you need to talk to. So if you're interested in that, you can sign up on our website. And then second hat is Startup Weekend Madison is going to be happening as well. We just launched the Eventbrite, so you can start buying tickets. That's a hackathon type event under the branding of Techstars, and there's a website which you can find pretty easily online as well.
I just noticed your mug, it's super awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so quick introductions. My name is Trezzy. I'm the co-host. I'm the host. I guess I'm the host. One of the co-organizers here. I'm also a software engineering consultant and a programming live streamer.
Trezzy, what is it?
It's twitch.tv/TrezzyCodes every Tuesday night at 9 p.m.
You gave it to Mark said. My name is Joey Frayne. I'm a technology investment manager at the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation. What that means is I work with technology-based startups, generally ones that are looking to raise capital from investors.
My name is Josh Helling. I'm also one of the co-organizers here at 1 Million Cups. My firm, Rootstock Partners, works with startups and non-technical entrepreneurs to get product strategy right, software product strategy, as I should say.
Kurt Peterson, co-founder of 32 Auctions, a platform for hosting and managing selling auction fundraisers.
I'm James Kidman. I'm Calls on Call. It's a shared reception service for small businesses.
Good morning. I'm Daryl Woodard. I'm the founding editor of Peace Readers International.
Michael Botts, Peterson Technology.
I'm Jason Meldonis. I work at I35 Development in Middleton. We do IoT consulting, and I'm starting to get involved in the startup community around here a little bit more.
Steve Claude, co-founder of 32 Auctions. If you haven't heard of 32 Auctions before, most of you I don't think have. 32 Auctions is a website for hosting and managing very fun, easy, and successful silent auctions. Check us out. 32auctions.com.
You and Trezzy.
Nate Shields, co-founder of School Dispatch. We help school districts automate the absence reporting problem.
I'm Wes Garnett. Nothing to plug.
I'm Derek. I'm a co-organizer here at Million Cups, and I also am the founder of Field 59. And if I got to look around the room, I think everybody in here needs to invite a female, somebody in business or startups or something, because right now we have a completely guy-centric room here, and we need to do something about that. Next.
Chuck Sam, intellectual property attorney at the law firm DeWitt.
Peter Cabby, wealth management advisor with Merrill.
I'm DP Knudden. I'm a creative collaborator helping people discover, craft, and communicate their nonfiction brand stories via the most efficient channels possible.
My name is Matt Noy, and I'm an IoT consultant. I'm also the chair of the Madison section of the IEEE's ECN, which is the Entrepreneurs and Consultants Network. And we are having an event tomorrow. It's a tour of the 5 Nines data center and a tour of 100 State. It's open to the public. If you guys want to join us at 3 p.m. at 100 State.
Jesus, founder of INTL IT Solution, providing IT support to any business around town. I am John Fenley. I flew in from Utah to save Murphy, and I'm pleased to say that I did. I launched it on Sunday, 30 days after I signed it to go. It's live right now. Log in with your old login information. It's live.
All right, there's a lot of pointing in the introduction this morning, but with that, we'll kick it over to our presenter. Let's hear it for Peace International.
Good morning again. I'm Daryl Woodard. I'm the founding editor of Peace Readers International. The domain is readforpeace.org, and the 4 is the digit 4. So I'm anticipating that you'll have questions. I hope you do. I think the presentation is going to answer many of your questions, but afterwards I'll be glad to answer any related questions. So I want to thank you for your time, patience. Thanks for the invite. Coming to you from southeast Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Kenosha, Racine area. So this is a little bit about me. I'm a career educator. I've been a classroom teacher, school counselor, been a principal. I'm currently assistant minister at the Hampton Avenue Church of Christ in Milwaukee. I'm also a juvenile counselor. I work with some young men in that area that, I kind of strand a little bit, and I meet with them and their parents generally after they get out of school. So that's a good fit for me right now because I network with this during the day. And I'm also I'm the founding editor of Peace Readers International. What kind of publication is it? That's generally what people are thinking when I introduce it. What's it all about? Well, PEACE is an acronym for promoting equitable, accessible community education. The world could use more peace. Wouldn't you agree? So my goal is to promote literacy and peace, particularly balanced literacy. It's an online publication. It's written for the community by members of the community. We have good information, better people for a great cause. And 40 cents of every dollar is donated to charity, to community organizations, particularly those that cater to women, children, veterans, and senior citizens. These are some of my national partners. Paralyzed Veterans of America. Do a lot with veterans. Have anybody a veteran? Anybody been in the military? Got a lot of respect for veterans. My dad was in the Army. My great uncle that raised me spent 28 years in the Air Force. He's been in all 50 of the states. He's been in 13 different countries. Could order a meal at a restaurant in 6 different languages. So that's one of my national partners out of Washington, D.C. And then we have Darkness to Light out of West Virginia, and their goal is to stamp out childhood sexual abuse. And so these are my national partners. I have some local grassroots partners as well. But here's my interest in this particular endeavor. In 2003, about 1 billion people entered the 21st century without the ability to read a book or sign their name. About 66% of them were women. 85% of juveniles are functionally illiterate. More than 60% of all prison inmates are functionally illiterate. They have a 54% better chance of not returning to the system if they can get some literacy help, and this would save taxpayers $25,000 a year per inmate. And 1 in 4 children grow up not knowing how to read. And so my goal is to promote literacy, because if we can get people literate, they have a better chance of becoming a law-abiding citizen, staying out of trouble, and instead of being a burden to society, they can contribute to society. And not only is it going to help those, but it's going to help those, it's going to improve the quality of life for people who already obey the law. And so we can promote literacy. It's going to help our communities and our society as a whole. So that's the platform behind readforpeace.org, Peace Readers International. This is the content of the publication. I have 19 different genres: prostate therapy. You know what an acronym is, NBA, NFL, and basically I just take a word and I make an acronym out of it. An apple a day, health, fitness, mindfulness, wellness. So I have people with expertise in that area, including medical doctors, that write this column, and it's a monthly publication. Campus Kings and Queens, that's a focus on young adults, college students. Checker therapy, counselors helping kids relate, counselors, social workers, anyone that has any knowledge working with kids. We were just talking before about some of the challenges in the schools, but this would be for anybody that has any knowledge of some tips on how to identify with our younger generation. They write for this column. Class rules, educators write for this column. Credit check cash flow, those fluent in financial literacy, they share their expertise in this column. Dropping Jewels, I have a daughter named Jewel who's a social worker in Illinois, and this is her column. Just Thinking, I have, this is a biblical based column where people share their solutions to life's problems using the Bible. KIRTX, that's Keep It Real Therapy, that's my column. And I wrote for a publication in Racine for 4 years. I had a column called Real Talk Therapy. And basically I would spend the first half of the column identifying a particular issue, and then the second half of the column with solutions to the issue. And so this is the same, I just changed the name of it because it's a different publication. Laws, legal anecdotal wisdom summaries. People with legal expertise write for this column, whether they be police officers, lawyers, judges, politicians. Anyone with any savvy with any branch of government or the law can submit an article for this column. Lessons on leadership. Anyone with any leadership experience, regardless of the field, education, church, business, military, would submit articles for this column. Military Matrix, Brave and Free. This is a salute to our veterans, and I feature a different veteran every month in this column. Sermon notes. Again, just some sermon outlines that anybody can use, anybody that has access can use, anybody can submit an outline for a sermon. Silver Stars, that's a salute to senior citizens, so I feature a different senior citizen in this column every month. Vocabulous, again, I'm promoting literacy. Once upon a time, I taught language arts and social studies, and so I do a lot of creative things with words. For example, this month, if you take the word depression, does anybody know what, if you flip the letters around in depression, what it says? Suppression. Say it again? Suppression. Depression. If you flip the letters around, it says I pressed on. And so I do those kind of things with words and vocabularies. And I was born in Chicago, and that's the combined colors of the Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Tribune, and Chicago Defender. That's where I got that color scheme from. I know you all know February is Black History Month, and I met Vernon Jarrett, who's a pioneering black journalist, and he wrote for each of those publications. And so that's where the color scheme came from. Wages, women advocating greatness, education, success. That's for the woman entrepreneur. That's for the woman with leadership experience. That's for the woman who stayed home and raised her kids, and her kids grew up and became successful. I want her story. This is the kind of content that I'd like to have in this column. Cool Kids, that's a focus on my K through 12 students, highlighting their accomplishments. We have the young adults with Campus Kings and Queens, but this is for the younger kids with their scholastic achievements. For March, next month, I'm actually featuring the sister of one of my students who's an adult now, but she has a younger sister that's like a track star and a scholar and all this stuff, and I'm friends with the family, so we're going to feature her in March. And as you can see, I like to do a lot with words. So KIDS is an acronym for Keen, Intelligent, Dazzling Scholars. White Stallion and Black Panther, this is for pet and animal lovers. And this one is actually new because I met someone her job is to find people's lost dogs. And she emailed me and said she wanted to write, but she didn't know where her content would fit. So we started a new column, and it's White Stallion and Black Panther because those are my favorite two animals. I used to watch the Lone Ranger when I was a kid, you know, with the silver and all that. But so this is for pet and animal lovers, veterinarians, anyone that has any experience working with pets or loves pets. They can just submit some advice or just a fun story about pets for this column. Poetry is injustice, is peace of mind. Once upon a time, I used to write a lot of poetry back when I was an undergrad. And so this is just a platform where people can submit a poem and have their poem published for our readers to read. And we also have a comic strip. That's my great uncle who I was telling you about. That's in the military. That's really a caricature of him. Robert Campbell Sr. Sorry, Jr. That's my great aunt he married into the family. That's my great aunt, my grandmother's sister. They raised me. And that's a teenage me. And then those are my pets, Woo Woo and Juan, my pet owls. So we try to put a little humor in it too. Okay, so these are the highlights of this publication. Stakeholders actually get paid for their contribution. And so that means anyone can go to my website, and if you have any experience in any of the genres we identified, you can upload an article, 300 to 500 words. If I publish your article, then I turn around and pay you for it. Okay? And stakeholders can also earn income by distributing the publication. I just launched in January. I'm starting to grow a little bit. And so I'm not going to be able to do this all by myself. So I do have incentives for people that want to help me distribute. And it's easy because it's digital. Once upon a time, I sold insurance. I was on the west side of Chicago, the south side of Chicago before day, you know, knocking on doors, cold calling people I didn't even know. And it'd be hot, it'd be cold, whatever. This is a lot easier than that because it's digital. You just share it with your family and friends. You don't have to do any cold calling with it. But I do have a contract for people that would like to help me with that. These are my goals. I want to secure 500 subscribers in Wisconsin by June. We currently do have readers in 9 different states, the District of Columbia and Jamaica. Obviously, the majority of our readers are in Wisconsin. But once I can get to this number, instead of donating 40% to charity, moving forward, I want to donate 50% to charity. And then I'm looking for a team, you know, in the Madison area to help me with the movement. So this is who I'm looking for. I'm looking for charitable organizations, community service organizations that serve women, children, veterans, senior citizens. And these are the kind of organizations that I like to donate to through my subscriptions, through my readership. So that 40%, hopefully by June it'll be 50%, will go to organizations that are in business to help support these groups. And so when I give my speech for winning the Nobel Peace Prize, I want to make sure I say it all started right here in Wisconsin, because this, again, is international, and so that is the long-term goal. But I want to be able to say that it started right here in Wisconsin. Thank you.
You want to take questions? Stay up here.
Absolutely.
Questions?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about the subscribers? Like, who's a typical person that would subscribe to this?
It's generally, I haven't found a niche market yet, but it's generally people that like to help other people. Okay. Those are the people that subscribe to this. I went into it with the idea, can everybody take the card please? I went into it with the idea that there's going to be professionals in all these genres, like a medical doctor, school teachers, principals, military people. And yes, some of those people do write for the publication. But I also have like parents of my students who are just common people who don't hold a college degree, but they have a lot of life experience. I call it evidence-based experience. And so they submit articles, they submit very good articles. And so, again, anybody that wants to express themselves, that has something good that they can share, can go right through the website and upload an article and have a very good chance of getting published. And then I'm old-fashioned, I'm not a big sophisticated machine, but the first week of every month, I just mail out checks to everybody who was published the previous month. So next week, I'll be just mailing out checks to the people that wrote columns for, you submit by the 15th of the current month. So in other words, the people that are going to be published in March, they would have submitted by the 15th of this month. And it's those people that first of the month, I'll just sit down and write out a check and just mail them a check and a thank you. So anybody, I haven't narrowed in on one particular niche yet.
Is the check based on subscription base?
No, the check is, I pay 10 cents a word.
Gotcha.
For the article. I pay 10 cents a word. Yes. Thank you. That was a good question. Yes, sir.
So, actual delivery of the publication, you said it was digital. Is it on the web? Do you email it out? Just kind of curious about how that
Another good question. When you log in, am I able to pull up my website on here? Or no?
If you're connected to the Wi-Fi, then yes.
I don't have a Wi-Fi code or anything.
You don't need
I can just, it'll automatically put me in there?
Yes.
Let's see.
Let's check the box.
Okay, thank you. So here's my homepage. It kind of tells you a lot of the stuff I just told you. These are some of my local community partners. Got the national ones. My church is one, and there's our big national ones. This is a young lady out of Georgia. That's my alma mater in West Dallas. Young lady there writes for me. She also wrote a book. This is a counselor I work with. She still works for the school system. She's promoting literacy also. And then in March, I'll have about 4 more like local grassroots ones that we've already connected. But my website designer hasn't added them. They're added, but they're set to go 8 a.m. March 1st. And that's when the March publication will be available. Now, to your question, I'm sorry. You go here to subscribe. Okay, it's pretty simple. It's $5 a month to subscribe. Okay, and once you go in here, you subscribe, you become a patron, because Patreon is the platform that handles the credit cards. It's a separate company, so I never see anybody's credit card information. But when you subscribe, you'll set up a code, and then you can log in at any time. Okay, and you also can choose, because out of your $5, you can do the math. $5 a month, 12 months in a year, $60 a year. 40% of 60 is $24. So you can choose which organization you want your funds to be donated to. And you can also nominate a new organization that I may not know about. Any more questions?
What kind of discovery are you doing for this? How are you getting people to find Geeks Readers International, right? Because it's a website on the internet. The internet happens to be kind of a big place.
Right.
Yeah. How are you bringing in this audience?
Most of it is word of mouth, networking like this. I did actually through networking. I met a young man who's very tech savvy in Milwaukee, and so he's taken my Facebook page, because only reason I got on Facebook so I can spy on my kids, and they're adults now, so I don't care, but I still have a page. And so I'm not real tech savvy, so I have a Facebook account, I have a Twitter account, I have LinkedIn account, and I have an Instagram account. But I'm not real good with it. And so this young man that I met is actually taking those accounts, and he's uploading content like 2 or 3 times a week. and he's sending out, let me see if I can go to my Facebook and show you like some of the stuff that he's putting on Facebook and Instagram. And my Facebook account is just a regular account. It's not like a business account. It's just me as just a normal everyday person. But there's people they're going to my page and liking my page, and this is stuff that he's doing. It's nothing that I'm doing. But he's inviting people to like my page, my Read for Peace. Let me see. See, it says readforpeace.org has 3 new likes. And this is all stuff that this is like one of my students. This is a guy I grew up with. This is the gentleman, by the way. His business is called Millennium Link. But he's sending out different posts like 2 or 3 times a week, and then people are liking my page. I've done a radio interview in Illinois. This on my homepage. This little video promo. This is like, I got a 2-minute one, and then I have the full 25-minute video. This was done by someone I met in Milwaukee. She does this kind of stuff. She has like an online television show. She's like the online Oprah Winfrey. And so she has all these politicians and important people in Milwaukee on her show. And so she did an interview for me, and now I can kind of use it as a promo on my website. I also put it on Facebook. And she's also one of my subscribers. And she's also, when she gets time, she's actually going to write some of the articles.
Okay.
But she's just very busy right now.
So it's all like online advertising,
Yes.
word of mouth stuff.
Yeah.
And is your subscription fee, is that the only source of revenue that you all have set up?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Don't have any don't have any other source. Just the just right now I'm not making any money, and that's okay. That's why I work a regular job, because I know I want to do something for the community. I wanted to reach a broader audience than the publication I was writing for, and I want to really do more for the community. So I'm okay with donating to the community. I'm okay with paying my writers. I'm okay with paying for my website, because once I get to those, if I can get to those 500 subscribers, and I can get a concentrated area, say 1,000 or so subscribers, then I can go to merchants and tell them, there's 1,000 people in between Milwaukee and Madison reading this publication. This is a good place for you to advertise. And then that's when I'll start making my money.
Sure.
But right now, it's like I pay my people first, and I'm okay with that. I'm content with that.
Do you have any more questions?
Yes, sir.
So I know one of the things that you talked about earlier in your presentation was around, the fact that there's a large percentage of illiterate people, So I guess how do you plan on kind of taking this to help those people? Kind of by working with your partner organizations?
Outstanding question. There's a group in Milwaukee, and it's called Expo, and the EXPO, and I know the X is ex-felon, and they've all done time. But now they're all doing positive stuff. They paid their debt to society. Now they're volunteering at schools. They're trying to mentor kids to stay out of trouble. So this is another one of the groups that I'm looking for, because I want to donate. In fact, I have a meeting Monday with this very group that I'm telling you about. And it's interesting because one of my writers, who's a senior citizen, an older senior citizen, she actually is the one that referred me to this group. But through my publication, I want to donate funds to those groups. And I also know that they have challenges getting jobs, stable employment, once you have that felony on your record. And so I give them the opportunity to distribute my publication. And I tell them up front, you're not going to get rich from this, but you can earn an honest wage doing something good. So it's not a pyramid scheme, it's not get rich, that's not the goal. But you can do something positive and put a little money in your pocket. And so that's one way. And I'm always looking for more ways, because absolutely they are the ones that need it. And that's why I put so much focus on the young kids also, because that's more prevention. With the adults, it's more intervention. But with the kids, I want to do more prevention. Thank you for asking that question.
All right, let's hear it for Peace Readers International. Are you going to be hanging out for a little bit after the presentation?
Oh, yes, sir.
So if anybody wants to come up, ask questions, chat for just a minute. Thank you, Joey. Daryl will be up here, and Daryl, before you sit down, we have a present. Joey remembered, I didn't. I can't take credit. Thank you for presenting. Appreciate this little gift from us. One more quick reminder, if you don't already have it, grab the 1 Million Cups app and go check in. Let us know that you're here. Thanks to our sponsors, Dream Big for the space, Starting Block for their continued support. With that, everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday.